So, I've talked a lot on this podcast about sellers who've gotten into a cash flow crisis that was easily avoidable if they knew just a few things. They unfortunately learned the hard way that e-commerce businesses have much more complicated financials than other businesses. The fact that you incur expenses on inventory several months before receiving it as revenue makes it really easy to be catastrophically off on your financials. One month will look insanely profitable, then the next will be losing money, which obviously leads to inaccurate, poor business decisions. I see this happen far too often. So that's why today's podcast partner is Synder. Synder is a powerful tool to manage cash flow and ensure you have accurate financial information you can use to make key business decisions. They have multi-channel data in real time across Shopify and other platforms, including Amazon, automatic sales and expense categorization. They even help you set up and monitor financial KPIs at work so you can find hidden streams of revenue or products that are draining profits, which is a really important piece. And finally, the piece that people don't really like a lot of the time to do themselves, simplify the tax filing and to close your books to reconcile in just a few clicks. If you want to check them out, use the coupon code EasyBooks to get access to 1 month free usage, which saves more than $40. That's EasyBooks, all one word.
This is Actualize Freedom, straight talk on growing clicks and conversions on Amazon FBA from people doing it every day. Now here's your host, digital marketing acrobat, Danny Kenji Carlson.
What's up, guys? Danny Carlson here with the Actualize Freedom Podcast. And today is the episode of the future. We're going into artificial intelligence when it comes to Amazon advertising. And not only that, but what is the landscape of Amazon advertising? It's probably not what you guys think, right? It's changing so fast in today's digital marketing world. So we have someone here today who is an expert specifically on Amazon ads, is Vitalii from Profit Whales, who is a very fast growing Amazon PPC full service marketing agency, but also maybe better known as a SaaS product, a automation for Amazon ads. So he's got a lot of really specific knowledge into where artificial intelligence and Amazon ads specifically intersect, and then just marketing in general and how that's changing on Amazon. So welcome to the Actualize Freedom Podcast, Vitalii. How's it going?
Thank you, Danny. Thank you for hosting me. Thank you for your invite. That is awesome because I'm just follow some of your episodes and it's so cool. So I'm really glad to be there.
Awesome, man. Well, I really love talking about these topics that we're getting into today, the future, what kind of disruptions technology is going to create and is already creating. So maybe that's a good place to start is, how has artificial intelligence or some of the more advanced technology affected Amazon ads already? And then where do you see that going in the next couple of years here?
Yeah, that is a really great question. And, Danny, we spend a lot of time inside the software for the Amazon sellers. Yeah, it's like the PPC side. And then we also try and test and right now working as the agency when you have manually a lot of things that should be done, right? So you're working with the specialists. I think that the next trend that a lot of people will see, it's absolutely the work of the PPC specialists will be destroyed, I guess, from the market. And I guess in 2, maybe 3, or maybe 5 years, you will never hear about the PPC specialists because I think they will be more analytic guys, so they will absolutely use some tools and then analyze the data that they have inside the market, inside the specific product niche or something like that. And they will be absolutely sure what things they should do. Yeah, because right now when we are speaking about the advertising, we spent more than 4 years working exactly in these fields, and we work closely with the Amazon advertising team for getting some insights from the betas, from the some updates that they do for the market first, and then we provide them with the feedback. That is really important for us right now to follow because it's give us the whole understanding what you should have. Because a few years ago, a lot of people, they just say okay, we will have the in-house PPC team and they will handle everything. Then big brands start building their own softwares for handling and working with some monkey tasks, some monkey job. And of course, you will have a lot of routine around the PPC. Yeah. And I think the software, it's absolutely the one thing that you should have inside your business, inside your PPC campaigns. It's like, doesn't matter. But then we should absolutely understand that the best thing to move forward is like the synergy when you have a like programmatic approach like the AI or any software solution with the algorithms, and you have a people, a specialist who follow that, who control that, who make the analysis, and they could say, is it correct or not? Should we do that or not? Like, should we implement these changes or not, based on the situation on the market? Because now it's too complicated, just provide everything to the software. A lot of things should be done like manually and based on the analysis that people do. In the case of the photos, videos, for example, in the case of the branding, in the case of the deals, lightnings, or anything else. A lot of factors we still couldn't control, or we still couldn't get from the API, from the Amazon API, right? Like in the case of the some data. And that's why it's complicated. Now more people use these softwares as the next steps to speed up the process of the optimization of the setup, to make it clear, to work with tons of data that we have. Because when you're working with the 7, 9, or 8 figures, it's a lot of data should be analyzed. Yeah, it's a lot of things should be done based on the calculations. And now I think without the software, when you do everything manually, you will just spend a lot of time or a lot of human hours, on that. And like, for what reason? So I think the combination of that will be the most important part during the next years, and a lot of brands and a lot of companies will go into this field.
Yeah, I totally agree on that. And just something to illustrate the point about artificial intelligence, right? And like, I'm using that term loosely, right? Artificial intelligence, just basically some software algorithms that can improve themselves and get better as they go, right? So one thing I think it's just really important to realize just how much better an artificial intelligence can be than a human once it actually gets up to speed, right? So there's a great story about, I think it's called AlphaGo. It was a Go player that was supposedly supposed to be the most complicated board game that humans can play, like more complicated and difficult than chess. And this AlphaGo AI just continued to beat the world's best Go players, the people who've been playing it for their whole lives and win tournaments, and consistently beat the world's best Go player, 10-0 or something like that. But not only that, they created another artificial intelligence that was even smarter than AlphaGo. And this new artificial intelligence beat AlphaGo 100-0 completely. So it's not like a factor of artificial intelligence can be more efficient than a human by a factor of 10 or even 100. In a lot of cases, it's more efficient than a human in factors of thousands, hundreds of thousands, potentially millions, right? And just the amount of data that it can process at such a speed as a human could not possibly keep up. Right. So exactly. Is that kind of been your experience? I know you're like deep into the tech of this kind of stuff. So I'd be curious to hear your point of view on that.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And, the best thing here is that when we're speaking about the tasks inside the Amazon or the routine work that should be done inside the Amazon, people, they don't like that. Yeah, they could spend a really good response on the beginning and they just go down, and the performance, the efficiency of these people will just go down. When we're speaking about the system, about the AI and the machine that will be learned, so you see that every time efficiency will go up, 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 and they will just speed up you every time. So it's much better investments than like the human based on the some type of work or some type of tasks that you should do. For example, we use the AI and we tested in the case of the learning for the collecting and creating the semantic course. Yeah. So when you should have for example, 300-400 or 500 different keywords inside for your specific products, they should be clusterized based on the topics, meanings, based on the performance, the number and volume. The AI could absolutely go and check each keyword for themselves, check the photos that you will see in the search results and compare it. Is it relevant or not? Is it relevant or not? If you will provide them with the data on the beginning, right? What is the relevant and what is the irrelevant? The same we're doing in the case of comparing and working with the competitors. When we have a pod campaigns like the product attribution targeting, and you provide a like thousands of different assets of your competitors, or like assets from your niche, and AI could absolutely check and complete a list of the top performing assets that you should absolutely compete with them based on the images, for example, and like sort it. It's much better, and for people it's too complicated to do all these things. But when we're speaking about the machine, it's much better in the case of the efficiency. But now when we're speaking about for example, Amazon in general, it's not a lot of things that should be done in the case of like the exactly software. I mean, it's more about the algorithms. Yeah, it's more about the approaches, and like it's not about the rules, but still you're working as the like the system, right? Here's like a lot of things and way to implement the AI exactly in this form that you have mentioned. But now we are focusing a lot in the case of the external traffic, for example, external traffic that absolutely affects the Amazon and like the way how your brand is presented on and out of the Amazon. Yeah. And here much more space to use the AI. Right now, we're like want to implement all the other channels that we could implement into our software. In the case of the API is the Google, Facebook, TikTok, different blogs, or anything else, because here you will have a huge way to check the how AI working. AI in the case of the creating texts, for example, creating articles. Yeah. Now you shouldn't have a copywriters. Right now we have a lot of tools that could create their own articles with the 90% of uniqueness, and everything will work, and you could test it. Yeah, promoting your products, for example. The same you could do in the case of creating the images or making the social media based on the AI. So it's also the opportunity that you could right now implement. Yeah, I guess there is the another step when we are speaking about the brand growth, right? Like the how you look like in the case of this machine approach into your business. Because now a lot of people, they just thinking about, okay, I will go into the social media, I should have a social media manager. Maybe no, maybe you should just have a AI for that. Yeah, like the AI app that will create all social media that you need with the right posting, the right text, and everything will be look like awesome. Everything will be much better than people could do.
Yeah, we're in a very interesting time when it comes to the artificial intelligence tools that are available, that are like, B2B SaaS companies that are useful tools that are ready today. So one really interesting one, you mentioned AI copywriters. So I've been personally playing around with this tool called Jarvis, and it's insane. It's insane what this thing can do. It's an AI copywriter that you can tell that, for example, you're like, write me a 5 blog post headings for an article about the keto diet. And it'll pump out completely original 5 headlines just based on all the data that is crunched. Really good. You could even tell it, write me in the tone of voice of Tony Robbins. And because it's an AI, it can process everything that Tony Robbins has said all across the internet. It knows how Tony Robbins speaks. It can talk like Tony Robbins, right? So, absolutely. I mean, and it's actually good enough now where it's becoming to the point where it's like, us as an agency that does a lot of copywriting, it would be pretty stupid, honestly, not to really understand and utilize software like this. Because even 1 year ago, the software, like similar software, was kind of a joke, right? Like there's all these blog respinning softwares and stuff like that. And like, they're kind of, they could be useful if you were just stupid, right? But like they didn't really have utility. Well, it's now past the threshold of that level where it's useful, right? It's good, right? There's another example. There is AI landing page softwares, right? Artificial intelligence will generate your entire landing page for something based on artificial intelligence and what it knows, right? You tell it what you want and it'll create a unique landing page for your product, right? So, but I think I'd like to hear your opinion on where we are in this curve, right? Because you mentioned somewhere before that it's not everything, right? It's not like an employee, you can just tell it what to do and then come back the next day and everything's done perfectly the way you want it, right? You need to give it the right parameters. So where do you think we are in that curve between, actually being fully able to have an AI do the whole job and then having someone actually directing it?
That is a really good question, because I'm just analyzing how different the business right now and, for example, 10 years ago. Yeah, for like 10 years ago, people like they did not purchase so many things via the internet, and for them like the internet was something like weird. Yeah, it's not all use that. For them, like was it's like complicated. I mean, like around the world. Yeah, it's like, why should I do that? Maybe it's not like a hype topic or anything else. Yeah, that was like just the beginning, and right now we have like, I don't know, like the cryptocurrency, yeah, inside the internet. And for them, it's like also normal for the people. Here, like the same when we're speaking about the AI as the approach that you could implement as part of your work or delegate part of your tasks. And I think that if before we speak about the employees, right now we will speak about your like manager skills. I don't know, like, is it correct or not? But now a lot of people should understand that we hire employees with their knowledge, right? What they could do for our business, or we spend time on like educate them on process and tasks that we need to like do together for growing our business, or like to spread our idea. Yeah, and we spend time for that. With the AI we have the same situation right now. It's like just the beginning. It's just the test approach. We are the guys who just want and like this idea, or companies who want to investigate it, yeah, like to test it, to see how that could look like and how that will work. I think that next period of time we will forget absolutely about the website creators as like the front end, for example. We will forget about the copywriters, about all like the designers, maybe, because all the things could be done by AI in absolutely unique way. And everything you should do is like the prepare like a technical task, right? You should have a clear understanding what you want to get, and you will get it, right? With the different variations of that, for you will be that will speed up your process much cheaper. And people will go into they should create these like manager skills, like the project manager skills, in the case of what they really want, what results they expect to have, how they planning to do. Because now we're speaking about things that should be created, then we will go into the things that could be promoted, because now we're speaking inside the profit whales about the advertising in one click. When you have a product on Amazon or any other marketplace, you click on the button and you have the software will create a campaigns, will set up optimization, will create a creatives, headlines, everything else, and you will just sit and see the statistic. Like nothing else should be done. No need in the case of the knowledge about the PPC and everything else. We will do everything based on your data inside the like Amazon or any other marketplace. I think that is like the unique approach when you should change your focus. Yeah, change your focus in a case of the tasks that you should prepare, in the case of the tasks that you want to do. Right now you will go into the more strategic part, what I would like to achieve, what, I don't know, like results, amounts, profit I should get, how I will do that, because all other routine stuff will be done by the machine. I think that is like there is a good understanding for the next 5 years, absolutely, because now a lot of people, they will just feel that. Yeah, and I think that the main change will be that people that do right now, for example, I know copywriting, they will start using the AI, and not all people will understand that. And the same with the like the front end. A lot of people will use the AI apps for creating these all websites, and not all like final consumers will understand that. I think that will be the first adaptation, and then we will go and use it more and more.
Yeah. And I really encourage everyone to watch things very closely. Like I'm personally watching just the development of these AI tools very closely so that I can understand where they're going to be valuable in my business. So like, Kenji ROI, my agency, has about 25 full-time employees, right? And full-time employees, we have great team members, but humans are humans, right? Like if someone says something is going to be done tomorrow and then it doesn't get done tomorrow, right? Or they get sick or something happens, right? They run into a problem, right? That's just part of working with humans. But an artificial intelligence theoretically is much faster. It doesn't get sick, right? It's going to do it. And not only that, it could give you, if their assignment was to write a blog post, they could not only write a blog post, they could write you 25 versions of the blog post, they could choose the best one, right? Just as fast, if not much faster than a human could write one single blog post. So it's like you just can't ignore these technologies when it comes to business. Like it is absolutely going to be the future of business in not that many more years.
Exactly. And I think it's one of the best talents that you could have. It's like working with the people in the case of the management, because it's too complicated sometimes to handle and to work with the big teams. Yeah, because just 1 year ago, we had around like, I don't know, 13 people on our board. Right now we have 40 of us. And you understand how big your team could grow during the year. And you every time you will add new specialists. Yeah, you will grow. Absolutely. You will, well, I guess by the end of 2022, we will have around 100 people, and there is okay. Like we need all of them, but still, when you like see some actions that could be performed, you understand that you should show people the part of their growth, right? Because if they do right now the PPC only and they are the PPC specialist, you should teach them to be the analytics more. Yeah, you should teach them to set up some tasks and use some tools for making the predictions, for making a forecast, I don't know, to understand how the market is working, how to react on that. So it's much better to go like ahead in the case of this trend. Yeah, do not stay on the same level. And I think that AI tools right now, it's a great illustration on next, like the handbook tools, that you will have on your, like, I don't know, like Mac or anything else. You will have in the open source, and you will use them for speeding up your teams, for make it more efficient, because do not like delete or fire your employees. Yeah, if you have a copywriter and then you just have a AI and AI will handle. No, the main idea that you will have one copywriter who will be a manager of all these AI things. Yeah, they could like speed up their process and change their understanding how to work exactly with the tasks, how to handle them, how to improve them, how to, I don't know, like promote or use them correctly based on your brand, on your understanding. So it's really complicated to understand how to implement that, because you couldn't just change it, like fire it all and get all the AI tools. That will not work. Yeah, I think you absolutely should have a human, you should have a team, and the best way here is like the synergy and the right understanding of the way of tasks that you would like to have.
Yeah, that's certainly where we're at right now. Certainly not time to go fire your entire team, but I think it's certainly time to start paying attention and get familiar with just how this works so that you can be ready when it really does start to ramp up here. But Vitalii, I want to shift gears a little bit here and ask you some questions about Facebook ads, Google ads, these external traffic sources, because digital marketing is becoming more and more complex as we go along here. And so a lot of Amazon sellers are finding that it's really necessary to be spending on some Facebook ads, some Google ads, but obviously the complexity just skyrockets as soon as you start adding more ads platforms in there, especially Facebook ads with all of the ad creatives and everything like that. It's a whole different game than Amazon. So I'd like to hear your opinion on the current state of external traffic marketing to Amazon.
Yeah. So, after the like this year, we just understand that Amazon will not continue work and play on the Amazon seller side. Amazon will not support them. Right now, Amazon more focusing on the Amazon brands, and that is like the main understanding on what you should do next, because we spend a lot of time with our like 7, 8, 9 figures with the good experienced guy inside the Amazon, and we understand that they have a so cool understanding of the Amazon as the main marketplace and the main platform. And then when we go outside and we check the website, we check the external campaigns, or like, I don't know, like Shopify or anything else, you could see that it's another brand. It's another brand in the case of the colors, in the case of the fonts, in the case of the branding, like everything could be different. And right now, Amazon will catch that. Amazon will speak about your brand on and out of the Amazon. It's like one of our jokes is that Amazon previously checked the reviews on Amazon. Right now, Amazon will check the reviews out of the Amazon. Yeah. So they like analyze all dimensions about your brand out of the Amazon, and they just analyze that based on the traffic and the traffic that you are getting or provide Amazon with, because the Amazon is like the limited traffic machine. Yeah. Who you they couldn't get it, I mean, like from the like Google or anything else. It's like the limited traffic, and only you as the Amazon seller could provide them with the new traffic if you will promote it Amazon anything everywhere. Yeah. So right now, Amazon start focusing and working in the case of the Amazon attribution as the main tool that could help you to create a macro links that will like show you the data around. I guess a lot of people right now using that. And what do we recommend now? It's absolutely to understand, are you the brand? Are you like have a good branding? If not, please do that. You absolutely will need that. After that, when we are going into the Facebook and Google, it's really too complicated to add additional channel. Yeah, you will add additional like spending. Yeah, because you will need to perform some tasks. You will maybe pay a higher price. Like for what reason? And what do we recommend? For example, on the Amazon, please do not overspend right now. Don't go into the huge ACOS because you think that you will like bid for these positions and then ACOS will go down. Right now on Amazon, that will not work. You should absolutely be sure that you will do that during the attribution window, like during the 14 days. If not, and you just overspend, just move this budget to another platform. That will be much better for you. If you will build like this diversity in the case of the budgets for you, you will have a chance to attract new audience that you will have a chance to like attract with the Amazon, for example, or with the Facebook ads. We see right now the whole system of things that should be done for making it successful. For example, we have the Amazon PPC, you should have the Amazon DSP, Facebook, Google for making and building the whole remarketing, right? Because without the DSP, you couldn't build remarketing on the Facebook or on the Amazon. Without the Facebook and Google, you couldn't build the retargeting and remarketing campaigns all around the internet, right? So for you, it's like could be the complicated stuff. And we recommend you to start with the good structure inside the Amazon, and you could like get a top keywords and try test it on the Google with the plus Amazon keywords or plus buy keywords, and absolutely the exact form. Yeah, without any broad or any phrase. Please do not do that because you will spend a lot of money on that. You should have if you have a chance to create a specific small landing page, that also could be a really good option for you. Yeah, and you will have a chance to catch your audience. So the main understanding is that now you have a chance to build audiences out of the Amazon and to attract all these people with Shopify on the one side or your website and with your Amazon. And you will have a chance to test and to find the right CPA across the internet.
Okay, there's a lot to unpack there. So the first thing I'd like to pick apart there is you mentioned that Amazon is now looking towards reviews on external websites to also take into account for its own ranking algorithm. So are you saying that like essentially they are like looking at Shopify reviews or like other platforms and things like that, and then they're recognizing great, this is a real brand, like they have reviews on other things, so that's probably good for Amazon, right? It means that they're likely to be sending their customers to Amazon and getting more things there, so therefore they're pushing people higher in the algorithm. Is that what you've seen?
It's more about the search volume out of the Amazon. Yeah, it's more about your performance as a brand out of it, because a lot of people, they could grab your link from the Amazon, go to the BuzzFeed or any other like review platform and discuss it. Like, hey guys, have you purchased that or not? And they will see the volume around that because people will click and go to the Amazon for a check. And during the month, for example, you could see a lot of different volumes from different websites, but you have never post the like, I don't know, like paid blogs, or you never like do the advertising on these websites. Like you have never do that, but still you have a traffic from there. Amazon will catch that amount of traffic that you will provide from somewhere, and after that Amazon will compare and see the like not the relevance, but the relevance in the case of the sales. Yeah, like the you have provided a lot of traffic and you have get some sales. Okay, you will right now Amazon like add it into the algorithms in the case of the ranking. Some like we could name it as the brand awareness. Yeah, like what about your brand? What about your like brand reputation on and out of the Amazon? Is it good or not? Because some sellers right now, they are performing so good on Amazon, but they had a like fake reviews on Amazon or anything else, but Amazon couldn't get it on exactly on their platform. But out of the Amazon, a lot of people discuss that on different platforms. Hey guys, it's like not so good, and they provide a bad feedback, and you could see like when they go down after the May that update, like I don't know, like 4 months ago, they just start do that. So it's like a more about the traffic and traffic volume in the case of the relevancy.
Yeah, so it's essentially becoming a requirement to be sending some kind of external traffic. And would you recommend people specifically, like what type of link specifically is going to be the best one to send to the listings, right? It is not just like pasting the URL from the top of the search bar, right?
Right. Yeah. It's more about the Amazon attribution. This tool provided you with the specific links, like the macro links that Amazon could check correctly, and you will have a chance to see the data, like the performance of the links, the number of the impressions, the number of clicks, the number of sales, and you will have a chance to catch them, right? You couldn't see the spend on these links because these links could be specific for the blog, for the website, for the TikTok, Facebook, or any other platforms. I guess right now, Amazon attribution, they have a lot more than 100 different specific platforms and links that you could create it. And we recommend you to create, for example, a different links for different campaigns that you tested on Amazon or on Google, for example, or Facebook. You will have a chance to understand where you get more traffic, where you get more sales, calculate the ROAS on that, and of course you will have a chance to like make it more efficient than you do like previously, right? So for you, it's like much better to perform right tests and to understand where you get a specific traffic. For example, if you use the Amazon logo on your website, and if you will click, there is a just link, you could change it onto the macro link from the Amazon attribution and see the performance of this data. And Amazon right now also has the referral program in the case of like 10%, I guess, cashback from all sales that you'll get through these links. So it's also like the good opportunity for you to have a small but refund.
Yeah, and that's one thing that used to be an old trick, that you just take your own affiliate commission on your own products. And Amazon used to explicitly say that that was against their terms of service. You're not allowed to do that on your own products. But they changed their mind, right? They realized that, hey, it's actually, we want to incentivize people to be sending as much traffic as possible to us because that's good for us, right? So, I mean,
Exactly.
it definitely should be double dipping. If you're not, you're just kind of throwing a little bit of money in the toilet. But like, and I love the tip too about making sure you're using the right links too, because I always like to think of things from Amazon's perspective, like what is best for Amazon in this scenario, right? If someone is using their attribution links, then it's a signal to Amazon that this company is, they are purposely driving external traffic to their products, right? They're not just, this is not just like by chance that someone posted a link here and stuff like that. This brand is actively bringing us customers, right? Which is great for Amazon. So it would make sense that they would want to reward that, right?
So for now, it's like the best and the main recommendation for the all Amazon sellers and Amazon brands at start follow the Amazon rules, yeah, in the case of the promotion, because Amazon right now show how important that is for them, like, and what exactly you will get if you will do that correctly. If you will have a chance to create a good branding on your listings, on your stores, and that will be the same of your website, that will be absolutely awesome because people will build the loyalty and trust. Yeah, that is like one of the point that Amazon provides us with. The next point is the attribution links. You should have them, and right now use them everywhere that you are working with. The Instagram, okay, the TikTok, okay, in any headers, in any influencers, like anywhere that you control the traffic, yeah, where you will have a chance to work and you will have a chance to check are you getting from their traffic or not. You could do that for your stores, you could do that for your products. It's like doesn't matter. you should just understand that you need and you should follow. And the external traffic campaigns, Amazon, as I have mentioned, it's the limited traffic platform. Yeah, and they couldn't like get more traffic. Only you as the seller could promote them, right? And do not overspend on Amazon. Just build this diversity and test another platforms, because you have a so many analytics right now inside the Amazon. For example, in sponsored display, when you go and work with the audiences, a lot of people will say, sponsored display don't work for me real well. We couldn't get any sales or anything else. What is the purpose for that? The same they say for the DSP. It's like too huge. We couldn't spend a lot. With different agencies, you could go and start using the DSP much cheaper than with Amazon, like not 40K. Yeah, for example, you could go and start working with us and for 10K per month, and that will be also okay for you. But you need to spend, not in the case of the profitability. You have two main reasons as the remarketing and the analytics that you have inside. And these analytics will help you to set up all campaigns externally, all campaigns on Facebook, all campaigns on TikTok, on Instagram, on all social medias. And of course, you will have a chance to set up a display campaigns on Google. So you pay for getting and grabbing this data from the Amazon because they absolutely understand their customers. They have all the data around them, and you will have a chance to do not like just burn your money on social media on like testing. Yeah, you will have a chance to absolutely set up it correctly based on your audience, based on their interest, lifestyle, behavior, anything else. And for you, there is the opportunity to expand your business. Yeah, right. To expand your sales, to not overspend, but work correctly with all your marketing budgets.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's spot on what you just said here. But I also know that a lot of people are listening and they're getting very intimidated by all these different ad platforms and things like that. And I think that's justified, to be honest. Amazon ads is very simplistic compared to, even Google ads, but especially Facebook ads. It's just a lot more variables thrown into something like that. So I would just kind of like to throw out here that it's not a good idea if you're a very beginner kind of person listening to this, and you got your first one or two products and you're just learning things. I would very, very much recommend that you don't go open up a TikTok ads account, a Google ads account, and a Facebook ads account and just try to do everything all at once, because you will probably end up losing money and you won't be able to learn everything fast enough doing it all yourself, right? So Vitalii, we're coming to the end of our time here. This has been really, really valuable, but I just want to point out here that what you're doing with Profit Whales, I think is going to be really the game-changing thing, really essential, right? On that last point that I was mentioning of beginners trying to do everything themselves is a terrible idea. Well, it actually becomes a manageable idea when you use the leverage software tools and automations and things like that make things much more manageable, right? And the people who are not using these things are at a huge disadvantage. And yes, they cost money, but it's ridiculous how much less money that is than hiring an employee to do the same thing, right? So tell us a little bit about Profit Whales and where people can reach out to you if they wanted to reach out.
Yeah, so we are working as the full service marketing agency. Yeah, we also like understand and we find this feed in the case of the things that we could do. We comparing the machine learning with our teams, and right now we expanded not only on Amazon but out of it. So we are helping the 7-9 figures to grow and to find their profitable points on Amazon and out of the Amazon with the different and variety of the PPC campaigns. We like working based on the roadmap, that will connect the Amazon PPC, Amazon DSP, Facebook ads, Google, TikTok, Snapchat, the website optimization, photo and video creation. Like all the things should work correctly in a good like metrics, and you will have a chance to compare, to understand what is like valuable for you and what is not. We would be glad to provide you with any feedback, with any recommendations, with the strategic calls if you need them. If you want to find out how to work exactly with the external traffic campaigns, you have some concerns on that, you couldn't get started with the DSP and you don't know how everything will work for you correctly, we are ready to help. You could go into our website as the profitwhales.com. You could just fill the form, the main one on the main page, and we will like coming back to you. You could provide us with the message that you are from Danny, and we will get to you like much faster than previously. So let us know if anything you need from our side. And yeah, Danny, thank you for this amazing podcast.
Awesome. Thanks so much for coming on, Vitalii. And guys, we'll put the links Vitalii mentioned in the show notes of this episode, as always, at kenjiroi.com/blog. And until next time, guys, go out there, grow your business, and let's kick some ass.
For show notes and resources mentioned in this episode, visit kenjiroi.com.